these people are dumb, stupid, or just straight up fucked in the head. Because every once in a while you see this narrative that appears on all sorts of websites like Reddit, on Twitter, and all across many different YouTube videos. And it basically comes down to this: are games dead? Or are games dying? Or is gaming just straight up dead? It's a question that comes up a lot. And I think the only way that you could actually ask that question is if you're somebody who actually just doesn't actually enjoy games. And am I gonna say actually a lot of times? Actually, yeah, I am. But here's the thing. If you're somebody who actually plays games and you don't just play League of Legends or you don't just play Valorant, you would see very, very quickly that there are literally so many games to play that it's impossible to play them all. And many of them are absolutely incredible games, like unbelievably good games. We just finished 2025, which can go down in history as one of the greatest years in gaming ever. 2024, non-stop bangers. 2023, incredible year. It's been like, honestly, since maybe 2019, we've had pretty much non-stop years of just unbelievably good games. And it looks like it's not going to stop, with 2026 being probably an even better year than 2025. And yet we still have people who are so stupid that they're going to say, gaming's dead. Are there any games to play? There's nothing to play. Gaming is dead. So, if you don't know, all of this spawned from one tweet that is absolutely blowing up on Twitter right now. And I'm going to show it to you. It was tweeted by this Twitch streamer Tarzan. And he said, get out of my way. He said, is gaming dead? I'm not really into shooters, like Arc Raiders, Tarkov, etc., but it genuinely feels like games aren't made the way they were a decade ago. Outside of League, I haven't found anything I can log into daily and still feel satisfied by. Over 1.2 million views, obviously not a lot of likes. And then later he cleared up that he was just referring to online multiplayer gaming. But aside from that fact, and even if he is just talking about that, but I think he wasn't, but I think he changed his mind after when people in the comments started to absolutely annihilate him. But besides that, tons and tons of games. And the fact that you're saying League is your bar of games that you're focused on just proves that you don't actually really enjoy games as a whole, and you don't really play a lot of games. Just that statement right there should solidify in your mind what type of person we're talking about here. Someone who doesn't actively enjoy or engage in video games as a whole. If you had to name what's your top 10 list to this person, they might not even have 10 games on the list, let's be honest. And there's a lot of people like that out there, which is crazy because there's so many good games, but people just seem to come out of freaking who knows what goddamn stupid cave they crawled out of to just be like, actually, let me say that games are dead, everybody. Games are dead. You're stupid as fuck, dude. Synth Potato, we just had one of the greatest years for video games in 2025. You and people like you need to stop playing the same 2 to 3 franchises and actually look outward for once. Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. This is just 2025 right here. This is just 2025. Expedition 33, what is considered by many to be a masterpiece and potentially the greatest RPG ever. Not by me. I think it's an exceptional game and it's absolutely a must-play for really anybody, honestly. Even if you don't like RPGs, you'll have a great time here. I would give it like a 9.5 out of 10. I think it's incredible and it's a must play. Split Fiction, excellent co-op. They don't do wrong, okay? Joseph Fares doesn't do wrong. He knows how to make a great game and it's one of them. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, basically first person medieval Rockstar game. Okay, if you like Red Dead Redemption 2 but you wanted to play medieval, boom. Hades 2, if you play Hades 1, come on. Silk Song, Blueprints, puzzle game, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, Lost Soul Aside, get that shit out of here. I don't know why that's on here. You're breaking down the whole list with that thing, man. But come on, man. New Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Metro Prime, Elden Ring Night Rain, Mafia, Silent Hill F. What a year, man. And some of the arguments, it's this idiot, I mean, he's probably just joking, but saying you're missing a game, Call of Duty, this idiot, only RPG has games, go fuck yourself. It's so obvious that you don't play games. This guy's single player games are boring to me. I understand that there are people out there that only engage with one type of game. There are some people who legitimately only like multiplayer games. And realistically, it's fine. But there are so many multiplayer games to play outside of just League and just Call of Duty and just Valorant and Counter-Strike. There are so many, dude. So many. You just gotta open your stupid fucking eyes and see the absolute sea of games that are out there, because I guarantee, even if you didn't play any games from 2025 and you only played old games, okay, if right now you're just I'm not gonna play any 2026 games, I'm only gonna play games 2025 and before, you'll never run out of games with the amount of games that there are. Never. The games industry brings in more money annually than Hollywood and the music industry combined, so the answer to your question is no. Gaming is not dead, nor will it die in our lifetime, if ever. And Mighty Keep is right. There's no chance of it dying. Gaming is absolutely not dead. There is so much to play. Like, honestly, sometimes it feels like people who ask this type of question are basically just trolling for engagement because they know that there are people who will come out and just defend games like their life depends on it, you know? Kind of like how I'm doing, where I'm saying, like, for you to just make the statement straight up, you're obviously a goddamn idiot. And I don't know anything about you. I don't know who you are realistically. I've never watched your stream. I feel like I've heard the name before. I think it's a World of Warcraft player, if I'm being totally honest. But there you go. You're a World of Warcraft player. You play World of Warcraft, you play League, you probably play Counter-Strike, you probably play Valorant, and that's probably it. So to say that there's no games, whatever, and then you go on to say like, oh, I was talking about multiplayer games. Okay, let's talk about multiplayer games then, dude. Let's talk about multiplayer games. If you want to play something like that, you don't like shooters, fine. TFT, I mean, whatever. I don't like TFT, but there's another game for you. Peak, fun game that you can play with your friends. RV There Yet, fun game that you can play with your friends. Split Fiction, A Way Out, Grounded, Valheim, Final Fantasy 14, Rocket League, if you want to, whatever. All the Backrooms games. There's so, like, it's hard to just think off the top of my head, but I'm telling you straight up, there are so many possibilities of things that you can play and enjoy that it's crazy. Play co-op Elden Ring, play co-op Dark Souls, play V Rising, play, you know, a fighting game, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, play Street Fighter 6, play Smash Bros against each other, like play Mario Kart. The possibilities are literally endless, literally. It's just that you don't like games that much. You don't want to play those games. You just want to sit there and be like, games suck. There's nothing to play. There hasn't been a good game since League of Legends came out. And that just proves that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But again, getting the attention, and then this time it seems like a lot of people are not agreeing, thankfully. Most of these times you find people that are agreeing with the person, being like, yeah, there hasn't been a good game since 2012. Dota is that. I'm surprised after having played it, you aren't addicted. I mean, there's not that much difference, you know what I mean? I don't know who he is, but I like what he said here. Is food dead? I'm not really into meat or flavor. Porridge just isn't doing it for me anymore. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Another idiot. AAA games is arguably at its worst ever, and woke influences are hurting a lot of games. You're stupid. Gaming is massive, with Steam reaching its highest numbers ever. Yeah, that's true. So no, gaming is not dead. I mean, this guy said a good thing and a bad thing all in one, so hard to say. Gaming isn't dead, but it's significantly less competitive? What? People want games to trigger their dopamine for a few months before moving on to the next game that will give them the same feeling. Back in the day, players cared to be good at improving their hobbies. I don't know what this guy's smoking. It's just not true at all. Gaming is probably more competitive than it ever has been. And there's more games that are vying for your attention than there ever has been that people are bouncing from to try and become the best in the world at, literally constantly. It happens all the time. So don't know what you're talking about. Another idiot. Yeah, gaming is fucked right now. Lack of content engagement from every developer known to man. All they care is money. Proves that you don't know what you're talking about. You probably watched some Asmongold video where he said that, you know, every game is dead, AAA games are dead, or something stupid like that. It really comes down to the fact that if you say that gaming is dead or that there's no good games to play, you're the problem. Not games, not the games industry, not AAA games, not indie games, not multiplayer games, not single player games. You're the problem, dude. If you cannot find a good game to play in the year 2026, and looking back at the entire history of games, you are the fucking problem, dude. You just don't like games. I'm sick of people like this who are saying that games are dead and that there's nothing to play. Multiplayer's dead, racing's dead, shooting's dead, fighting's dead, sports is dead, all of it's dead. You're dumb. Why don't you be dead, all right? Idiot.